to day 4 of our workshop, Your Life is as Good as Your Mindset. We are tackling something today which I guarantee you've probably said at some point in your life, and we happen to all use this as an excuse to, stray away from the things that we want out of our life, or our goals, our priorities. And that's when we like to say to ourselves, I'm too busy, there's too much on my plate, you should see my schedule, I have so many things to do, I can't do it, I'm so overwhelmed. We do this all the time. We say, I'm too busy to work out, I'm too busy to go grocery shopping, I'm too busy to meal plan, I'm too busy to start a business, I'm too busy to spend time with my significant other. We use this as an excuse. But what it does, that's the worst thing, is it pulls us away from what we really want. The things that would create that balance and that satisfaction, that happiness in our life. And what I want to do today is I want to take you through all the ways that I work one-on-one with my clients to help them bust the myth, completely demystify that whole concept of too busy, what it really means, and why the concept of busy doesn't really exist. If we haven't met before, my name is Tanessa and I'm a life coach. I work with people to help them transform the areas of their lives that mean something, that have the impact, that they wake up in the morning excited about, whether that's building a business, losing the last 10 pounds, starting a new career, asking for a raise. That is the stuff that matters to us and lights us up. So let's get diving right in today. We are talking all about that BS excuse of I am too busy to do that. I don't have enough time. I'm too stressed out. I'm too overwhelmed. So here's what I want you to think about. One of the things that I always like to share with my clients is they think that being too busy, having a schedule that's really full, is a circumstance. So if you go back to week 1 of the workshop, you'll remember that a circumstance is an event or a thing that happens that is completely neutral. It is not positive, it's not negative, it doesn't mean anything good, it doesn't mean anything bad, it just is. We like to think that being too busy is a circumstance, meaning it's just a fact. It just happens to us. And when I have clients tell me, I'm too busy, my schedule's too full, I've got so much going on that day, they like to report it to me like the news, like it's a fact, like it's just them observing their lives, like, I'm so busy, you should see my schedule right now. They report it like the news and like it's a fact. What this tells me is that they have already decided that they are too busy. They have too much on their plate, and so all they're going to go out and do in their day is look for examples of why their schedule is so full and why they are too busy. And I guarantee if you go out in the world looking for those things, you are going to find it. If you wake up and think my life is busy, everything will feel busy. So we make the mistake of thinking too busy is just, well, this is my life. I have a busy life. It's happening to me. But everything we experience and the way we perceive everything is always a result of our thoughts. So one of the first things I teach my clients is that we need to take I'm too busy out of our circumstance line. So this is the model that we have been revisiting over and over again in the last couple weeks. Quick rundown. Circumstances. Neutral facts in the world that everyone can agree on. It's not about opinions. It just is what is. It is the facts, the indisputable facts. We have our thoughts about all the things in our lives, like we have the thoughts about what it means to be too busy. Our thoughts create feelings. Our feelings drive our actions or inactions if you're not taking actions. And our actions create all of our results. And our results are always reflected by how we're thinking. So here's what we like to do. We say we look at our schedule for the day, okay? And we have 9 items scheduled. Or maybe these might be meetings. So these might even be things like I have a workout, I have to do my meal prep, I have a coffee date, I have to take my kids to soccer, I have to walk the dog. 9 items scheduled. This is a fact. If you looked at the calendar, if I looked at the calendar, we could both agree and say 1, 2, 3, 4, 9. There are 9 things. That's how we know it's a circumstance, okay? It's not too busy. The reason too busy is not a neutral circumstance is because saying too busy or even busy implies that you have an opinion about how many things are on your schedule. So 9 items scheduled. Here's what we like to do. We like to have the thought, I am too busy. I have so much to do. We like to think this sentence in our head about 9 items scheduled. But what we end up doing is when we like to think, when we look at our schedule for the day and we're like, I'm so busy, I've got so much to do, I can't possibly fit all that in, what it makes us feel is incredibly overwhelmed. And I mean, all of us might have different experiences. Like, the feeling is really just the vibration, where it lands in your body. Overwhelmed for me always lands in my chest and it feels really icky. I mean, if you say I'm too busy, you might feel frantic, or you might feel rushed, or you might feel, I don't know, however you might feel if you say I have so much to do. You might just retreat. You might just not do anything at all. But these are all feelings that happen from thinking this. Now, here's what I want you to think. When you look at your calendar, or when you look at your week, or when you look at the month of December, and you think, I'm too busy, I have so much to do, or I have so much planned, we first need to recognize that you're the one planning all of this. I always love the idea that everything is optional. Everything is optional. So we have to take responsibility for what we choose to put back on our to-do list. So we like to think this and we feel overwhelmed. And now I want you to think, when you're in that space of feeling really overwhelmed, your to-do list is huge, you're not getting anything done, what actions are you taking? What are you doing as a result of feeling overwhelmed? So here's what we usually do. We retreat, meaning that's no, Netflix, I've got too much to do, it's just busy, let's just skip that Netflix. Or you can procrastinate. So you put something off, maybe just like, oh, there's so much to do today, I'm just gonna do it tomorrow. You say no to invites maybe, so maybe you're like, I'm just so busy. Or how about you deprioritize things that matter? I'm so busy, I couldn't possibly find time to work out. I'm so busy, I couldn't possibly go to the grocery store until next week. No, you don't understand. I've got 9 things on my schedule. I'm so busy. I'm so overwhelmed. So what ends up happening is we take these actions, we retreat, meaning we just give up on a lot of stuff. We don't do everything full out. We procrastinate. We say no to things we want to go do, like or no to invitations, or we deprioritize our health or our family. You know, we neglect our partners or our children or our pets because we're so busy we couldn't possibly have time to just sit down and be with them. And then what happens is when you are always acting from this place here, the result is, funny thing, you end up being too busy. You end up feeling too busy, and the worst thing that happens is the effect that happens on things like your health and on your relationships, and you create even more overwhelm. And this is what happens when we stay in this flow here. We always like to think that it's our schedule or too busy that is causing us to feel overwhelmed. All these things are making me feel overwhelmed, but that's not the case. What the case is that it's this thought. I am too busy. I have so much to do. I have so much planned. You don't know my life. Like, you should really see my schedule. That is what is making us feel overwhelmed. When you feel overwhelmed, you take these actions, you end up feeling too busy, and then you end up missing out on, getting started on that workout program. Because here's something I really like to explain to my clients. If you want to start meal planning, or you want to start exercising, or you want to create time to grow a business, you go to look at your schedule. And I get this. I can't possibly start now. I'm too busy. You don't even know how many things I have in my plan. But I ask them this. Did you really expect to go to your calendar and find a magic 1.5 hour block of time available? See, here's the thing is if we've never taken time before to make time to exercise, it's not going to be there when we go to look to see if we have time to exercise. You have to create that time. You have to plan for that time. You have to make the time. If you are not currently exercising and you look at your schedule, of course there's not going to be time to do it. It's because it hasn't been made a priority yet. You haven't created that time for it. So here's what I would do next. I would say, well, if you have 9 items scheduled, what are you doing with the rest of your time? And this is where reality sets in. Because when you start to look at how you can account for your time and where your time goes during the day and what you spend those free moments on, what you start to realize is that these 9 items you have scheduled don't account for all of your time. There's all of the TV watching. There's the Netflix browsing, there's the Instagram scrolling, there's the email checking, there's the Facebook, there's all of those moments that we waste away in the middle of the day, and I know we all do them. But the thing is, that is where you create your time from, is you look there and are like, well, if I wanted to find time, where would it come from? And we start to look at it like that. So as long as we are always looking at 9 items scheduled as I have too much to do, we are always going to be stagnant. We're always going to feel overwhelmed, and you're never going to make the time. The biggest result is you will never make the time for your health, for your relationship, for your family, for your kids, for your business, as long as you are walking around and thinking this. Now, here's what I'm going to show you. Here's where it comes down to thinking. So I want you to really think. If you go out today and have already decided that it's a busy day, it's going to feel busy all day. But what if you just decided that you weren't going to think you were too busy anymore, or that your schedule was too full? What happens if you just thought, I could totally manage this? What if you just decided that busy wasn't something you were going to use as an excuse to stop you from moving forward? Because here is a fact. And I love this. I can't tell you how often I hear this, just like, I can't start now, I'm too busy. But listen to this. Life never gets less busy. Life never gets less stressful. Life never gets less overwhelming, because it's not life that's causing your stress and your lack of time and your busyness. It's your thinking. So if you're telling me in 3 months from now, it's going to be great, I'm going to be fine, I'm going to be so much less busy, I guarantee you, because you're generating the concept of busy from your thinking, you will go out into the world and find something else to feel just as overwhelmed about. You're going to go out in the world and look at your task list and decide ahead of time that you're already going to feel busy about it. So in 3 months from now, life never calms down. Life never slows down. It doesn't give you this magical break of 3 months to get in shape and work on your health and start eating more vegetables. It doesn't happen like that, because busy is created up here. So if you want to feel less busy, or you want to have time, you have to decide that it is all from my thinking, and I can control and change my thinking at any point. So if we wanted to do that, if we just said that, like, you know what, maybe I won't wait till New Year's to lose weight because I think it'll be less busy. What if I wanted to start now? But there are still 9 things scheduled. This hasn't changed, right? So what could you think instead? What is something that would feel good to think instead? What about something like, I am capable of making 30 minutes, and it doesn't have to be 30 minutes, it can be 10 minutes today. Or it's possible to make 30 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever it needs to be, whatever is believable for you today. Could that be true for you? If you really wanted to focus on creating a healthy meal plan in which you picked your recipes ahead of time, you ate more whole foods, you felt better, you knew you were putting lots of vegetables into your body, and you loved that, okay? And maybe the whole process of meal planning needs to be broken down. So you maybe need 10 minutes to pick out your recipes, and then you need 10 minutes to write a grocery list and check your pantry and make sure you see what you have. And then you need to make sure that you go grocery shopping, and then you need to leave some time when you get home to put the groceries away, and all of these tasks, right? And they seem really big. But could you believe this? It is possible to make 10 minutes today, regardless of how many things are here. Is it possible that you could make 10 minutes today? It totally is. It totally is. And what you can get done in that 10 minutes, you could just find the recipes. You don't need to worry about stocking the fridge and cooking and all of that stuff. What if 10 minutes a day, you just picked out your recipes? And then all of a sudden, you realize that you have the ability to create time. And your schedule's not happening to you. You are creating your schedule. You have created busy, and that you can't prioritize your goals by your thinking. So what if it's possible that you can make 20 minutes a day, 30 minutes a day, whatever like that? What does that make you feel? How does that make you feel? And I think it's possible. I get maybe a little bit of hope, or you could think maybe you get a little excited, or maybe you generate motivation. Or a good one for me is whenever I use the word "it's possible" in a thought, it generates inspiration for me. So if I think it's possible I can make, let's just go with the example we're doing here. It's possible I can make 10 minutes today to start my meal planning. It's possible. I feel inspired. What am I going to do? I'm maybe going to, get a notebook. I'm maybe going to get my, I'll plan all the steps, and I'll take 10 minutes even just to plan the steps that I need to do to meal plan. I might choose my recipes. I might stay focused. I might look at my calendar and find the time. So do you see what I mean? Like when you're in that space of inspiration, you take actions, and you know that if you got your notebook out, you planned out the steps, you chose your recipes, you stayed focused, and you looked at your calendar to find 10 minutes, the result was you would be capable of making 10 minutes. And you know what you do with that 10 minutes repeatedly over time? Your result is, all of a sudden, you have a meal planning system. Oh, that's messy writing. So you have a meal planning system, and it literally is just that. Where you had showed up before saying, I'm too busy, I'm so overwhelmed, I can't possibly do a meal planning system, you have effectively decided to shut down all of the solutions, all of the ideas you could come up with. You have effectively decided that there is no possible way you could make a meal planning system work. That's what you've done. You've just decided, and because of that, you have shut off all possibility of coming up with a solution that works. So instead of thinking, I'm too busy and not creating any results, and then blaming your schedule, thinking you have no control over it, and playing complete victim to all of the things that are going on, you can take this same schedule and choose a different thought. You can decide I'm no longer going to choose to tell myself I'm too busy. I'm going to make 10 minutes a day. It's possible that I can look in my calendar and find 10 minutes, and we know we can. With the amount of time we spend on Instagram and Facebook and checking email and diddling around and watching Netflix, I know it's possible for you to make 10 minutes. And that makes me feel so inspired. So I go to work and I start using that 10 minutes, one block of 10 minutes at a time. And maybe some days you only find 5, but some days you find 30. And what ends up happening is you start questioning that whole belief that your schedule is completely unmanageable and so busy, and you start leaning into the possibility that maybe it's just my thinking causing all of this overwhelm, and if I want to choose something different, and if I want to feel different, and if I want different results, it all starts here. Because we both know that two people with the exact same amount of things on their schedule could have totally different thoughts. One person could be like, yes, this is an easy day. I only have 9 things scheduled today. I have all this free time. Where someone could be like, my day is so busy, you don't understand. I'm so tired. So what I really want to challenge you with is to look at the stories you're telling yourself. And when I say stories, I mean the series of sentences that create the perception you have about your life, about the things on your to-do list, about the things you have scheduled. What is the story you are telling yourself over and over and over again that is preventing you from getting the results you want? Is it to lose 10 pounds, open a business, spend more time with your spouse, connect with your family? What is the repeated story you are telling yourself that you have decided to not even question that is preventing you from getting where you want to go? So I'm going to ask you, are you willing to question the whole idea of I'm too busy? Are you willing to throw it out and say, well, what do I want to think instead? Do I want to walk around feeling overwhelmed and frustrated? Or do I want to walk around feeling possibility, inspiration, motivation? Because those all come from up here. The circumstances, the facts of your life, the things that happen. Do not choose your thoughts. You choose your thoughts. And choosing I'm busy might just be something habitual that you've gone to for so long. It just feels like part of who you are. But at any point, you can make that decision that I don't tolerate that kind of talk with myself anymore. I am not too busy. You know what I am? I'm totally capable of making 10 minutes today. And I know that this works because not only have I done this with dozens of clients. I've done this with myself, and I've also done this with so many other thoughts that were useful, like I'm so tired. I'm exhausted. That is one thing I never say to myself, because the only thing that thinking I'm exhausted or I'm busy sets up is being exhausted and busy. So if you don't want to be busy and exhausted, stop telling yourself you're exhausted and busy all the time and start coming from a place that serves you. That is my challenge for you, is question that whole concept of I'm busy. Why are you choosing to think I'm busy when there are so many optional thoughts available to you right now? If this is like, yes, I get it, I love it, and you want some help applying with this, I work as a life coach with clients one-on-one every single day to help them not only release themselves from their BS stories, but to go after what they want because they're not locked in to the same things they've been telling themselves about what's possible. If that is something that lights you up, please message me, and I would love to just get on the phone. Let's chat about what working together looks like, and I would be honored to spend time seeing if we'd be a good fit to work together one-on-one. But this has been week 4, day 4 of your life is as good as your mindset. You want a good life. You want to achieve the things you want. You want to feel the way you want to feel. It all starts with that mindset, and your life is as good as your mindset. Next week is the last week. We're going into day number 5. We are talking all about how to self-coach yourself using this exact framework we've been working on week after week. How to coach yourself. What is the value of coaching yourself? What is the purpose of going out into the world and deciding to question all these beliefs? And I'm going to teach you how to do it, and I'm really excited to do that. So next Thursday, it'll be October. We're going to do 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. I'll meet you right here, and we will talk next week. Have a beautiful, beautiful week, and I will